Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with a call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They'll have a 1st down past the 40.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Off the play fake, Lawrence. Being chased out left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And he's got Rodgers. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another 1st down at the Colts 26. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Well, Charles, Indianapolis, they looked good a few weeks ago, but things have gone south after 2 straight losses now, 6-6, and they had a chance to stay a game back of the AFC South leader Houston until a late 4th quarter Adam Vinatieri field goal was blocked and returned for a touchdown this last week. You look at Vinatieri, and I am a huge Vinatieri fan, but now 46 years of age, he's missed 14 kicks this year, 8 field goals, 6 extra points.
And at one point, there was discussion that maybe Adam Vinatieri would retire or the Colts would move on. They doubled down in their belief in him, and he seemed to have righted the ship for a while, but we're back to the early season Vinatieri right now, and his kicking is costing them games. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. Not all because of him, but in part. Now they go into their final month. I still believe in this team. I like where they're going. They'll get Marlon Mack back at running back at some point, and while 3 of their final 4 will be on the road, to me they're all winnable games. At Tampa, at New Orleans, just depends on how New Orleans is going to play that when the division title probably is wrapped up. Then they're home for Carolina, and then they end at Jacksonville. They could get on a nice roll and still be a factor before this season is over.
He's going to field this at the 4. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Well, Charles, the Denver Broncos now at 4-8. Their offense coming back onto the field here. And as we mentioned earlier, they got to 4-8 with that win with a last-second field goal. Controversial pass interference call to set it up, but they got the win nonetheless.
They capitalize and break out the brooms. You know why, don't you?
Oh, yeah, their first season sweep of the Chargers since 2015, albeit in a 4-8 year. But you look back on this season, the 4-game losing streak to start it off, and this team was really never able to recover after that.
Yeah, and then they struggled at the quarterback position because Joe Flacco gets hurt. Brandon Allen comes in for a while. Now they're going with the rookie Drew Lock, their second-round pick, trying to find out if they have that quarterback for the future. And it was really difficult to run the ball because the offensive line was in flux. And now how about how they finish, right? Not an easy road trip, huh? At Houston, at Kansas City, and then they end up at home for their final two against the Lions and the Raiders.
Back to throw. Lawrence, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. 45. Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
2nd and 5. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They're going to look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, Lawrence. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
To throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
He'll look to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. The Colts on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Able to slither by. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. That'll be caught by Rodgers. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw. Lawrence. Open man is Higgins. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Back to throw. Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Let's go, D. Hey, stand up.
On third down, Lawrence, flush to his right. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. On 4th down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. But guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's tight? What's tight?
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Hey, 4 down.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. How about that? Their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Broncos push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
He'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Sullivan. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. From the 22, here's second and 8. Here's second and 8. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's first and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play.
It got his man complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 33 yards that time.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a third down attempt.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, first and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Second and 9 now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sullivan. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. From the 2 now, second and goal. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it third and goal.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
The penalty gets him half the distance closer, but they'll still... And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively, put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. The 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Lawrence. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. From the gun, Lawrence. Buying time to his left. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Dancing to his left. Completes it to Dixon. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Running out of the gun with Dixon. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
They've converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. The offense on third down tonight, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at third and a few inches. And to give this time to the tailback. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. The Colts on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. They'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. From the gun, Lawrence. Open man is Ross, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A run by Dixon. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. And hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And now it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense.
That's our ball, baby. That's our ball. Yeah.
So here we go with the onside kick. They'll need a recovery and a touchdown. A field goal does them no good. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So here we go, Charles, third down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
We got 4.
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
Check.
Get him. Check 31.
Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the